A very warm welcome to the Dirty Couch, Zambia. That is, my name is Misty.
My name's Steve, aka So Sick.
What do we do on this couch?
We talk dirty.
We have unfiltered conversations.
You know what?
Filters are broken.
It was white before, but because somebody actually poured some redness, I won't say where the redness came from, but it's red now.
I could have glayed all over it.
Yeah, blood, guts, guns,
Red.
cuts, knives, lives, nuns, whatever.
Oh,
All right, so today we have an interesting topic, which most of you actually do. I know everyone, whether you're Christian, whether you're atheist, whether you're an animal, whether you're not an animal, whether it's your dog bingo or your dog single, you've seen them do this. And it's actually the term called
we're
sex.
talking about sex.
Sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all got here to start with through sex. Yes, your parents did it. I'm sorry to break it to you. You never imagined them in that light.
You
But
know
that's
what?
how we all got here. Respectfully.
No, you know what? When you say that we got here through sex,
Yeah.
I'm telling you for like a long time, my parents would have sex,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't know it's sex. Like my father would get home, find my mom in the living room,
Yeah.
would come in and say, Mr. Cool, and then he would try to lift my mom, and then she'd go, George, stop.
Stop.
So I thought they'll
Oh
just
my
go
God.
to the bedroom and just kiss. I didn't know there was intercourse involved.
I never even thought about kissing. I thought they just, like in that bedroom, all they did was talk about bills, how they're going to feed their kids. That's all they did in that very sacred building, those sacred human beings.
Awafiashi, wala chita. Wala chita. And you know, when I actually found out that my parents had sex, is when I started having sex.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it was at a late stage. I started having sex when I was, I don't know if it's a late stage, but I was pretty old. So to break it all off, we start with inception, with the beginning, with the genesis.
Where it all begins.
Yeah, so we talk about virginity first. And you know, virginity is basically not having sexual contact with someone ever before. I don't know if that's a biological term, but that's it. But there's some people who ride horses, who ride bikes, that break their hymen. So sometimes when you have sex with a girl who thinks that she's a virgin, and you see no bleeding, and you go,
She's not a virgin.
I don't say. And I know as a teenager, when you probably break your sexual, you break your virginity, you think that she lied to you, but she probably told the truth. But there's a time when she was riding a bike and was going down Broadway, past the cathedral, and then went to the hump and pa, and then it hit her head, pew, and then she bled out, and she didn't know why she did it. It's because she broke a hymen. So virginity, breaking of hymen, and us actually having intercourse as men, because we don't break shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That's true.
So I'm going to start it off because they say ladies first, and this is embarrassing to talk about. So we're going to find out how Misty, aka Misty Cat, broke her virginity.
I need a stronger drink.
No, we'll just mix it up because this like really messes you up.
That's true. Mix the white and the red. Girls breaking their hymen before they actually break their virginity, and I was one of those girls.
Why?
So when I had sex for the first time and there was no blood,
How old were you?
I was about 17.
About 17?
Yeah, somewhere there.
My daughter's turning 17 next month.
She
No daughter talk. No daughter talk. Yeah.
I got you.
Let's move on. Yeah.
About that age. So when I had sex for the first time and there was no blood, because I had heard stories even from my friends in school when they were breaking their virginities, how bad it was, how it hurt,
Blood.
how they bled, and then there was no blood. The confusion.
That you had.
Yes.
What about him? Did he have any confusion?
I didn't ask him. We didn't discuss it.
Can we call him now? Do you have his number?
His name was Sydney.
Sydney?
Yes.
Sydney.
Sydney.
That's terrible. That's a terrible name.
A boy named Sydney broke
My virginity akasumbuka
akazunguka nje. Walile.
ni Sydney.
It sounds so stupid.
Okay, let's get
now.
serious. It's very important. Very important for you to hear this.
Yeah, so, but I didn't even have like anybody to have this conversation with. Being first of all,
Was it
knowing.
no. I want the nitty gritty. Was it planned? Did you like today? I'm breaking
No,
my virginity?
I didn't plan. I didn't go in thinking we're going to have sex. So it just, I was softly coerced into it.
This is the question I've always wanted to ask a woman. When you're about to break your virginity, and I've broken several.
Many a virginity.
Many a virginity, and I love you all, and I hope with all the sexual exploits that you had
He
after.
just lied.
No,
You loved them all.
Yes.
You loved them all.
Yes, I did. Anyway,
Yeah.
the thing that the issue that we always have as men
Yeah.
is how to break virginity. That's why a later stage in my life, I just didn't want anything to do with virgins, because I thought virgins were one, emotionally stressing, not a guarantee. So I always wanted someone, when I talk to someone, I say, "Oh, are you a virgin?" And they say no. I'm like, "Yeah, but."
You and I.
But when they say they're virgin, I know I'm going to have to now deal with their emotions, deal with the
You have to
emotions
be
after
delicate
sex,
about the way
be
you
delicate,
go
and then I won't even enjoy it. So
There's that,
let's
yeah.
go back to Sydney. Are we going to have surnames here?
I know.
Okay, all right.
I don't even think I know his surname.
You can't remember.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So Sydney, what he did,
Yeah.
he let me guess. There's either one thing, he took it to his mom's house when his mom was at work, or he took it to his friend's house when his mom was at work.
He took me to his room
Room.
because he was in uni already.
He was older.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
He could be jailed for defilement.
No.
No?
You were 17.
Oh, I was over 16.
Yes.
Yeah? Just facts?
Yes, you're facts.
Facts! No!
Facts. Facts. So I mean, 16 and below is defilement.
17 is consensual sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There was that. But it wasn't planned. I just went to see this boy that I liked. That was like slightly more intelligent than people my age. And
Had you known him for a long time?
yeah, I had known him for some months. Yeah, so it was, do you want to come and see me? No. Do you want to come and see me? No.
So you're saying no because of what?
Because I was very shy when I was growing up. Yeah.
Okay. You say you were shy when you were growing up. So Sydney took you to his invited you to his room, and then one thing that you were doing is that you were avoiding to go there. So did you know sex was going to happen? And when you actually agreed to go there, did you finally agree that, hey, smasheration's about to get smasherust?
Bruh. It was a struggle. No, when he takes off your top, it's getting to the skirt and your top is like back on.
Yeah.
And then you're holding on to the skirt
Yeah.
for dear life. Like,
Yeah.
Mama saying that do not have sex when you are here. Don't touch me, don't touch me. Okay, you can kiss me. No, don't kiss me, don't kiss me. Don't touch me. You can don't touch me. It was like a whole back, and I was just like so exhausted. I'm like,
So like, let him just do
okay.
it. Let him just do it.
Let him just do it. And then it wasn't nice. It was
Really?
No. Ask any girl, like the first time you had sex, like how was it? If they say it was good, then
It was nice.
no, but it wasn't.
Wasn't. No, I heard that it was nice. I was going to be very surprised.
No. It wasn't. I don't know if it was nice for him because we never had that conversation even in the days to come. But it was not nice for me.
I'll tell you the
the
truth.
guilt, and then the emotional turmoil.
I'll tell you.
They know when I get
I'll tell you,
home.
as a man, it was nice for him, not for the pleasure point,
Yeah.
but it was nice for him on the fact that he actually conquered you.
He
That's
sma- he
it.
smashed somebody.
Because one thing women need to know that men are conquerors. I mean, that's why you say, no, this man is cheating. We like to conquer.
He's just out there conquering.
We're like
He's
Vasco.
not really cheating.
We're like Vasco da Gama.
He's
you
a
know?
conqueror.
We're like Marco Polo. We want to walk all over your vagina. and then after we walk all over your vagina, we walk all over another
Somebody
vagina.
else's vagina.
Footprints in your life.
More like dick prints. in your life.
All right, so you didn't enjoy it, it was emotional or whatever.
No,
So,
yeah.
all right, let's move on then.
And I didn't know how to deal. Other girls started telling stories of how there was like blood, a lamb was slaughtered,
Yeah.
and then I started to feel weird. Like, am I like, what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me that I wasn't?
But you found out later
doing
about
it?
the hymen thing.
Yeah, like way later
Because you were an active kid.
Because I was very active. I was a tomboy. I was climbing trees.
You
I
fell
had
off-
fallen off.
Yeah.
One day.
Well, women, when they fall out of trees, they break their hymen. But anyway, let's move on.
My sister told me to get like the mangwa, and then I fell, and then it was just,
She broke an ass.
and that was it.
Trying
The
to get-
ground
trying to
broke
get
my
a man.
virginity. The earth.
All right. So my experience was different, and sorry, did I just burp? My experience was different. As a man, like when I got to the 8th grade, what was told to me is that you shouldn't be a virgin.
No kidding.
And honest to God, I thought I was a virgin. I thought I wasn't a virgin because kwani wakala ka juice kotai kakuwai tikala betati kasari
Like
where
by her skirts.
where you get your little dingaling and you put it on a little pum pum ping and then you do this and you think you've had sex, and for a long time
Yeah.
I thought I had sex. So when people would ask me whether I had sex, I would say, yeah, of course I did.
had sex.
Yeah, her name was Linda. I remember Linda, which was in Parkland. She's dead now. May your soul rest in peace.
Shout out to
Eh,
Linda.
come, we get that come side.
You?
Yeah, so when I did that, and I remember Kupompi in the servants' court at the back, and this is what
Want to be the
happened.
gospel singer?
No,
I'm kidding.
he's doing with Esther right now. My point is, so for a long time until I reached teenage years, that's when I realized that I was a
You
virgin.
yeah.
I hadn't had sex, but I thought in my mind, childhood mind, that I actually penetrated, but I didn't. All I did was just put it there.
And
think.
rub.
But one thing you need to know is that most kids actually have caught their parents having sex.
Oh.
So where do we even get this from? The fact that we want to have sex when we're 5 or 4 years old. You've heard of stories of kamwaitu bakasanga pamuri yakanankuna Krista, so kafumia kwisa.
Which is crazy.
They've seen it. I've been walked in before by my daughter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I was having juice kwatai.
And that's never happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women are very. I was drunk that day.
But my sex encounter, like seeing adults having sex, I was in Wasakili. My aunt used to live there.
And she was a hoe.
Life of a ghetto. No, she wasn't a hoe. But she had a hoe friend. One day, this hoe friend, in the wee hours of the morning, comes home with her boyfriend. And they're both really drunk. And they're both really horny. I think they might have started where they were.
Yeah, and
then
they finish it.
and then my aunt is like, no, not in my house. I got kids. And then they go outside. Back of the house, and they start going at it. They didn't care that kids came out and they were like, you. That's when I saw people smashing, adults smashing.
Yes,
very traumatic.
so if you have kids that are doing that, I don't know if it's instinct or whatever, but if it's instinct that's making them do that, because we're all animals at the end of the day. But maybe they saw you, because my daughter saw me once, and she said that she told my mother at Auntie Shani and Daddy were fighting naked. Fighting naked. So my mom called me. I was like, because you are fighting naked. I was like, fighting for us I was lost. I was like,
Fighting naked.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know what, ma'am, I don't know what you mean.
So all through high school I lied that I wasn't a virgin, because it's a man thing
To lie.
It's disgusting as a man or as a boy to be a virgin. It's not the coolest thing.
No.
So I was a cool kid. I was always the one. I only broke my virginity after school.
Goddamn.
After school, my whole high school experience, I
still
never had
had
sex.
it.
I had done everything but have sex. I had girlfriends, yes. And then when I finally had sex, I had sex with I was 18 years old, and I had sex with a 16-year-old
Okay.
who had experience.
Oh.
So when I did my 1, 2, 3. Hey! It was after like a few seconds.
1 minute?
Yeah.
30 seconds?
Anyway, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, bora hapo.
What did she say?
She was like, "What's wrong with you?" So I was so embarrassed because I was
What
a
do
cool
you
kid.
mean?
I was like, "What do you mean?"
There's
She's like,
nothing wrong with
"When
me.
I have it with my boyfriend, it takes a bit longer."
It doesn't last.
And
It's
with
not
you,
very short.
I mean, we tried it like twice or 3 times.
And
I
it
can't
was
remember.
still.
It was just.
But what was like the emotional state after it was done?
She was my boss.
But how do you feel? Like, what state of mind were you in
I felt
afterwards?
useless, like
Yeah.
towards her. But when I told my friends about what I had done,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like a king. You know, like, oh yeah, you know, that girl, hit that.
Because girls really have to deal. I don't know if it was just me. Maybe I should talk of my experience and not other people. Like a lot of guilt
Yeah.
after you break your virginity for the first time. You feel like I've disappointed the Lord that gave me this vagina.
Yeah, I've had a few girls who have actually sat outside the house and cried because they think that when they have sex
Yeah.
and they break their virginity that they won't get married because that's what parents ingrain in their
You
head.
feel like you're a slut, you're a sinner.
But they're
you
married
just have
now.
like so much to deal with, and then there's nobody to talk to. If you don't even have friends to go to and say, yo, me and that guy, and then you're also scared to go and tell your friend that maybe they might think that you're
Yeah.
so you just bottle all these things up, and then it's just a lot of confusion that you have to go through.
So you know, it actually takes a long time for a man to actually achieve a point where they become now a sexual god.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the truth. I mean, most teenagers are just happy
That's
they're
it.
fucking.
That's
They're
it.
just happy they're fucking. They don't care how they're fucking. They don't care what they're doing. They just as long as ulipamuru, means you're happy. You go and tell your friends.
Yeah. How has sex evolved though for you, like being younger and then getting older?
That's where I was going. I was like, when you reach a certain stage, and I'm telling you what we call, what Eddie Murphy taught me when I was watching his series. It's called the fuck stage.
Oh,
Like, now you can fuck.
just
Now you know the beginning, the middle, the end, and that's the stage where I'm telling you, if you're 25 years old now and you're doing that those are called the fuck years,
okay.
because that's when you have intercourse. At the beginning,
And
you're just
You're just getting into it.
You're just getting into
Yeah,
it.
you're
So
learning.
it evolves. Then there reaches a stage where it's not about really satisfying. You now start caring about emotions. Like when you're my age, you care about emotions.
Okay.
You care about how a woman feels before you have sex with her. You care about how your relationship is going. Like even if you're going to have sex, a one night stand, you know it has to be an emotional experience for her.
Oh.
Yeah. So we know how to manipulate that. I don't know how women take
Yeah.
that. I mean, they say that every time you have sex, you have part of you that you leave with that same someone.
Yeah.
I believe that's true. I
Oh,
really
for
do.
real?
Yeah. I mean, when you have sex with
believe
people,
too.
I mean, when you have other people you've had sex with
Yes.
all your life, don't you remember their names?
You do. You remember? Some of you are insignificant. I don't remember you. I'm sorry to those men. No, I'm kidding. What I'm saying is, I was about to agree. Look at your face. I'm glad I did that because your face was like, the fuck?
The people you don't
No,
remember. Though.
that is true, and it is said that when you have sex with people, you have like emotional ties with those people that you carry.
I believe that.
And yeah, like religious people will tell you that maybe we should like pray for, like there's a way to cut those ties when you pray and you cleanse and you manifest. And
There's a point as well when you have sex that you feel that you've lost your innocence. I went through that. Like where I felt I lost my innocence and I felt really bad
me too.
for losing my innocence.
I've had those times.
And I looked at myself in the mirror every day and I hated myself for having sex. And I wish I never had it. And then when
Many times.
when I hated it so much, guess what?
You still had it.
I had made
You went back to
I had
having
made
sex.
I know I had made a girl pregnant.
Oh,
I made a girl pregnant, and now we were to a stage where
Damn.
she was pregnant, and you were just learning to be at your prime of sex,
Yeah.
and then now you had to commit to one person fully.
The rest of your life, you thought at that point.
Yeah, we never did, but it was a
Was
crazy
it scary?
thing. Yes, it is scary. I mean, us men, no matter how women think about us, we are very emotional beings. But the only thing is that we hide it.
You had the
Women are
emotional
emotional beings, and
they just they bear it all.
They bear it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you had sex with your second person, were you more experienced?
No, sadly. Because it was like long intervals between, it's like breaking your virginity all over again, and I was just like,
Also,
this is like terrible.
you and Sidney never
We never had
started
sex.
a relationship.
No, I mean we did have a relationship, but we never had sex again. And then it ended.
Did he feel bad about it?
Like all things about the ending.
About not having sex with you again?
I don't know. I never asked him.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about bad experience.
Yeah. So the second time was just equally as bad as the first one.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now the worst experiences. Yeah, and how you handle the worst experiences. I'll tell you. I'll start first. I realized that's when you start figuring out what your type is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like big women. I like small women. Not as small as you, but I mean, I like small women. Like
Something we have in common.
they have to have my body type. Yeah, but obviously not what kwenye tako. Not what kwenye hips and then
that was so.
body type is like slim. So this time, there was a girl who just had a child, and she just showed up at work when I was 20. I think I was 26 years old. She just showed up at work.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going home with you. So I was like, oh, okay.
People just like roll up on you and say like, I'm going home.
When you're young, dark, and handsome, shit happens, my nigga. Woo! Anyway, so Nomba. Wow, she got home, and I remember I had like a one room house, and then the mattress was small for the big
room.
No, for the big bed.
For the bed.
I used to have like a half a mattress on a big ass bed because I couldn't afford a big mattress. And then she was there. Then she took off her clothes. Alarikweti amaso manaka. Alarikweti amaso.
George W. Bush. I'm a soldier.
I'm a soldier. I'm a recruit. Oh, sorry. Did I just messed up the plan?
Yes, you did mess up mine.
And then to make it worse, this just came from having birth. I think she was like, that child was like 3 months old.
Huh?
Her vagina was like, the Titanic is about to sink, nigga. So I did it because, I felt like, I did it because I had to do it because a man can't say no to sex. He can't. It's taboo for a man to say no to sex. So I did it, and I'm not. I don't have the smallest dick in the world. I probably don't have the biggest dick in the world. But I have a dick. Why got that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. But I was like plummeting through this, like Thanos was going through the galaxies. Yeah? Like, wow, what's going on here? This is so effortless. It's terrible.
And that's a conversation in your head.
And she was so big.
Yeah.
Not like she was fat, but she was bigger than me. She grabbed me like a little kid and then like started using me like a ping pong, like a trampoline.
Yeah.
And that was the worst experience. Men should never be dominated no matter what. That's for me. I think a man
there
should...
are men that like to be dominated.
There's a certain point here. But
it's a joke. No.
But it has to be something that you agree to.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you're about to be dominated, you're like, babe, come and do this.
Because I've had like
People have different sexual.
I've had a man request to be dominated.
I understand that, but it was his
Like,
request.
can I be your bitch?
But he was his request. You didn't do it to him unknowingly. He
wanted to be
requested.
dominated.
Yeah, sometimes we want to be dominated.
Yeah.
And we feel like women need to be dominated constantly. Is that true?
No, not constantly.
Do you like to be dominated?
I like to dominate. Dominatrix. You will suffer if you come in my house.
This is an awkward moment
Warning!
in the history of Zambian internet online shows.
But that's the thing. Like when it comes to sex and what people like and their preferences, which is so wide, and then you just have to discover that you can only say these things when you're older.
Yeah.
But when you are younger, like in your early 20s, and it's just, especially for women.
What are some of the taboos that you actually thought that you couldn't do? I mean, I remember when I was going through marriage counseling.
Mm-hmm.
They told us that you should not suck a vagina.
Oh, as you should not suck dick.
And we sniggered.
You were like,
with my wife, we're like why? And doggy style as well is taboo in our culture. We shouldn't. You should never do doggy style. Sniggered as well.
Yeah.
Another thing that it just has to be.
Were you sniggering because you were already there? Of course.
We were inducing the ballistics.
Yeah. So I mean, I've heard of those as well, and my reaction was your reaction. I just always feel like, oh, that is very stupid. Okay. Or just carry on with what we're doing.
Another thing that is I've learned as well while having sex is that comparison.
Yeah.
You know, when you have sex with a virgin for like a long time, she doesn't have anyone to compare you to.
Yeah.
So the sex is more satisfying.
Okay.
But when you have sex with a woman who's had sex with several people, the sex is less satisfying because they're thinking about Johnny Limp Dick, and then they're thinking about Johnny Big Dick,
yes,
and then they're thinking
Johnny
about you,
Little Dick.
and then they have to put you as certain points, and that's the pressure. So how do you handle that as a woman?
It is hard. This one time, God bless that man.
Sorry, do you want some alcohol?
Would you like some alcohol?
All right, let me open wine for our producer here.
This uncooked.
While you tell the story, go ahead.
Yeah. So this one time, I had lying with this man that came in my bed.
You had what?
I had sex with this guy.
Okay.
That was like also like I don't know if it's like a bad experience or like a weird experience. It had never happened to me. So we're like making out and we're like happy and he's so sweet and he's attractive and we're about to do this.
Which a story.
And then we're about to do the deed. And this man, before he actually enters the promised land, that was my one. Before he enters the promised land,
well, that's a whiskey glass.
all the wine glasses there, he chose a whiskey glass.
Pretend it.
Why are people like this?
Oh, sorry, I didn't need to clear that. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're saying before he's about to do the deed, after you've done all your foreplay,
And then he's done. So I'm waiting, like enter thine promised land, and then there's no entering the promised land because it was over before he actually got there.
That's why I always say sometimes women love foreplay so much.
Yeah.
That they.
I do like foreplay.
Yeah.
Women like foreplay because
it's great.
it's different.
It's great,
from men.
but it messes us up a little bit. Better than the situation I had before.
No, pour some wine.
But it messes them up before they get to messes a man up, depending on who the man is. If he's like very attracted to you, he will come quicker than the 2012.
Oh, that's good. Have you tasted it?
So really sometimes you need to limit your.
That's a good carbonate. So when you
need to limit your foreplay as a man.
So you blame it on my or my need for foreplay, for this man's inadequacy.
I blame it on him. Sometimes you do foreplay that you get her to that stage, but he was doing foreplay for himself as well.
And that
where he got to that stage. Are you feeling me?
I feel you. I just feel like I think as regards taboos, I think there's two extremes on both ends. On one side, there's males being told that they must be the only people that satisfy from sex, and then on the other end, it's like women are being told that sex is like some sort of reward to men for good behavior. You know what I mean? So
but I don't want to reward nobody. I just want to get mine.
Yeah, but so it's confusion at the end of the day, because on one side, someone wants to give someone a reward. You know what I mean?
Not 2021 women. 2021 women want to be satisfied, or they're not coming back.
I want to get my reward.
Yeah, they want to get their reward.
But then I think men have been like that for a long time, and most women are like that as well. Like every time you're about to carnal knowledge each other, they're just like,
I've been selfish.
I need to like make him feel good, or he did this, so I need to like, he needs to find me in lingerie. And
I've been selfish several times, and there's a point where as a man, sometimes you just want to have sex and get it over with and bust a nut.
That's it.
Because women are so complicated. We are not. I mean, your ichimutwe chove is this, yeah?
Yeah.
This is your pleasure dome. It's like this small. This freaking small. Our pleasure dome is this big. This is us. Our pleasure is so easy to get. Yeah? That's why when we masturbate, 3 minutes, you're done. No, we don't do that. But anyway, my point is, our pleasure dome is like so big, and yours is not. And the fact that women want us to be at the same level, and then you talk about us to your friends.
Do you never talk about us to your friends?
We do, but we don't tell our friends about the inadequacies that we have. We don't. We talk about how good we were, and how we made you scream.
Like I just told you about the guy that finished before we actually started. And then it was so awkward.
Do you think he told his friends that no, Bakamba, before the girl enjoyed? No, he went to say,
I don't think it
now
did. Because there was nothing after that. It was just like the awkward that came with that situation. I'm just like, I've never been here before. How do I deal with this son of Pharaoh right now? Like, do you comfort him? Or would that be like a little too bruising to his ego? Or like, what do I do now? Like, do I say like I didn't get there, we need to go back to the beginning? So it's very confusing.
So now let's talk about sex before marriage. I mean, we were all brought up in Christian.
That's also like a taboo.
Christian principles.
Yes.
I mean,
we live in a Christian nation.
I was taught never have sex before marriage.
We were all taught that.
But as a man, I was under pressure to have sex before marriage. Women are usually under pressure. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Women are usually under pressure to keep their virginity until they're married.
That's true? Yeah.
Yeah? So did you?
No, like you have both pressures as women too. You have the pressure of your friends have broken their virginities. They have had sex. And then they tell all these stories, so it's just like, maybe I should. But just will not be happy with me. Maybe I should, but my parents will kill me.
So just after the break, and I hope you are actually sipping your tea and doing whatever it is.
Or your wine.
I'm drinking my beer here. She's drinking a wine. Cheers.
Course. I do love my wine.
And by the way, this is in no means...
As if it is by the bar. Don't look at my bar. Okay, carry on.
The disclaimer is that in no way are we encouraging young people to have sex.
No.
Or to drink alcohol. But if you're going to do it, don't blame us.
Because I should make mention that when I broke my virginity, guys, you don't want to go through that emotional turmoil when you are young. And then you're like by yourself with all these thoughts. I actually envied people that broke their virginity like later. When they were older.
I wished I was a virgin when I was 30. I was like, I wish I was a damn virgin.
Even then, you're just like, shit. Like, I just wish I wasn't going through this. And now, but you deal with it
The
whatever
pressure,
way you can.
the pressure as a man to have sex is more intense than anyone has ever talked about. For us,
Facts.
if you're not having sex,
Yeah.
then you're no one. Even women like a man who has more sex than a man who
A little
doesn't.
experience.
Yes.
I mean, because what woman would like what I went through?
No, no
Where
one.
a man comes in, you've imagined like how it's going to be, and then just by your thighs, and there he is, he's done.
So the question I'm going to ask you as well is that why do you think that the most popular guys have the most sex? Because the more people know they have sex, the more they want to have sex with them. But if you're,
What is it? The perception that they're good?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm speaking as a man.
Okay.
I have no idea about that. But the more you have sex, the more women want to have sex with you. I mean, like even
Damn.
let me tell you the truth. Even the thing
It's
about
so weird that it's not that for women.
It is.
No.
It is.
The more you say like
why do people
the
want
double, bro,
Ikala.
fucking double standards for men and women. When
No,
a woman says that,
no.
I had sex with like a Phil the other day, and then Steve the other day, and then Shasha the other
I
day.
didn't drink from
People are
the
like,
bottle.
she's a hoe. Father Christmas is about to come in town. But when a man says the same thing,
Can I
they're
finish?
like, oh,
Can I finish?
that guy.
You see, the way you get it wrong.
Yeah.
When we watched the Iris video of Iris having sex for 12 minutes,
Yes.
do you think we were less attracted to her or more attracted to her? Answer this question. This is a very deep question.
More people want to smash Iris
Why?
because they watched her being smashed by some unexperienced guy.
Finish this as well. The women that you call hoes, yeah, the ones that are probably like we call them
That have
like
gained some experience. They're like liberals.
no, like they call them like we used to call them at when we were younger at Indola Open.
You men are so fucking disrespectful.
Mama Walu say.
Ha!
But why is it that those women
That hurts my soul.
Whenever you walk into any place,
They're the ones that you
so
want?
much men after them, and then the virgin girls, the ones that are proper, the ones that are good,
Prim.
are sitting in the corner without a drink, not getting anything, no
No,
food, no
but
nothing.
but I do get that.
You get my point?
I do get
My
that
point
because
is-
the woman was, like she might give it up. There's like a chance she might give it up, as opposed to the woman who hasn't given it up. It will be a fucking battle
But
to conquer that mountain.
no, but kwa wana kariati naine nari I mean, like if you're a man right now and there was a high school girl that was the most popular, but you called her a hoe. When you meet her when she's 45
Yeah.
and she's run down and no one cares about her, you meet her in a bar and you never hit that because you're not that cool then, you will hit that. To
So you
prove
can
a
tell
point.
the story.
Now, Shibati Nadi, finally!
Boy, now Jusha Jumlenga Tinam High School.
Finally. So I'm telling you that
Naipeza.
being a hoe, being a hoe as a woman, does not deter men from wanting you.
No kidding.
It does not.
That's
That's why
just-
hoes
that just
always have
complicates
someone
things.
to have intercourse with them. Hoes always,
All
but
the time.
but virgins do not. I mean, proper women do not.
Because you don't have the
They-
time for that.
They die lonely.
Because they're all prim and proper.
They're like,
Isn't that a travesty though? Like the tragedy of this, that you want to be good and then men will still run away from you because you want to be good?
Damn right.
For a hoe!
I want my ball sack.
We don't
in
say
your
hoe
mouth.
we don't slut shame in 2021, by the way.
All right. Anyway, we're about to conclude this show. I don't know why that even popped up.
Okay, then.
Yeah. So my
Importance of sex.
my producer's running me down.
Yeah.
And do you agree with what I just said though? Say yes or no.
Facts?
No facts.
You've never had sex with a hoe.
No facts.
And
doesn't want a
enjoyed
hoe.
yourself so much that you're like, God damn, facts with that hoe.
No.
Facts, huh?
No facts.
Can we get a facts on this side?
No, he's a bitch nigga.
Our standards are very, very
Huh?
As men.
low. As men, our standards are very, very low. Let's not even have a debate.
Our standards are low as men.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
No kidding.
Our standards are very low.
Some of us are very
Very
high.
So while women are picking, men are just,
Stay away.
I'll smash it.
Why do men sleep with maids?
Bantu,
Alikwata PhD.
Bapuba.
Maid akwatenshi.
Like he's the governor of the Bank of Zambia, and he slept with his maid.
The maid has a grade
Like, why?
grade 7 certificate.
She smells like chicken manure.
No, we are very
Why?
upset. Anyway, conclusion.
Okay.
All right, my producer's winding me down. Let's wind this down. This is a dirty couch, and we talk anything dirty that you don't talk about to your peers.
We did
No, you
warn
talk
you.
about to your peers, but you don't talk about.
With other people.
With other people.
But we did warn them that the filters have broken
Yeah. So how
on this
important?
couch.
How important is sex, and why it should be respected? Like we started with our disclaimer. You know, sex is very important because
To you, why?
Because one, it keeps relationships for me.
Yeah.
It keeps relationships.
Okay.
If your sex is bad, you have someone who mess around with your woman. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If your sex is bad, you're not going to have a full life. That's why people with small dicks or sex problems,
They suffer from small cocks.
they either have a very bad personality because they're cocky, or they want to show they have egos that they can't even take care of.
Like it's a compensation for
What
the
they
lack
have.
of.
And why it needs to be respected is because sex, unfortunately, even though we talked about it like this,
Yeah.
is just not sex. For me, when I had sex, I felt very, very dirty. And I felt very, very
I
disgusted.
don't know why that is. Why that is though.
And I felt like if I got married to a woman who was a virgin, I should have been a virgin as well. I would have had the best sex. Would have learned in time.
Because you starting like at the same
level. But
level.
But all I wanted to do is experience something different all the time, and unfortunately, I didn't respect that. Yeah. What about you? Why is sex important to you?
I feel like sex is a
Let's be black.
like it's also another way of communicating in a relationship. That it's like another sort of glue that holds you together. Chris Rock said something funny in his stand-up comedy that the minute you stop fucking, your relationship is done. And he had me like thinking for a while, like, oh shit. You know, you get to a point where you look at this person from like, I really want to fuck you. Like by the mango tree, by the bar.
Don't forget the guava.
By the guava tree.
Awesome.
High five to the guava tree. Ooh. In the car, give you head while we're driving. To just like, you disgust me. You look at this person, there's zero attraction. You know your relationship is dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's some truth in that. So sex is important because one, it's like a very key component for relationships. Relationships are broken down because people...
but we have what we call religion, and we have what we call Ntambi, we have culture.
Yes, we
and
do.
it tells us
to
not have sex before marriage.
There's that.
Do you believe that sex before marriage is wrong?
Yes and no.
I believe yes. And I'll tell you why. I mean, there's things that I experienced that I shouldn't have experienced.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for. And some of them have either built me or destroyed me.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I had sex when I got married, I was going to be built more because I would have learned to understand it. When we talked about how you just had sex, how you just had sex because you had to have sex.
Yeah, that's who was calling it.
It's our driver, we have to go.
How's your girlfriend? They'll be like, some bitch is calling you.
Yeah, but my thing is that sex is very important. But you have to have a level head and level mind for you to have sex. And I appreciate all the experiences I had, but I wish I never had them.
I mean, that's why I said like yes and no. Like you could have sex before marriage because it does allow you. Like what if you're single for a long time, but it does allow you to like explore and know what you like and what you're comfortable with, like over a period of time, this guy came and I don't like this.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I don't agree.
And then I feel also like you could wait until marriage because along the way you really don't want to settle down with this person, and then all you do is compare them to the previous lovers.
Yeah,
that
because you will
had.
find a Johnny Big Dick.
Yeah, it's just like his dick doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah.
Even though I do feel like there's a point where you like a person, and what you feel about their dick in the beginning changes when you actually like fall in love with them. And like I don't know what it is, but like your body becomes like it gets to a point where you become like very accepting, and it accommodates. It gets you to a level
whether
of
they're like this,
yes,
or they're like this.
Your body will either like shrink or like level up to how big they are, and just like come to an acceptance. But I just feel like some experience could be good, but then you come into relationships or the person you're going to marry and start building life with all these regrets and comparisons, and you just feel like if he was the only person you knew and you loved and you put on a pedestal, there would be no comparisons, there would be no shortfalls and all that. And I also feel like it's important because the lack of sex or the sex that's there in your relationship sort of has a very significant role to play in your relationship and where it goes. People in marriages cheat because he's not as good.
Yeah.
Because he's not as big.
Yeah, but on that conclusion, I would safely say, I mean, let's agree to disagree.
Okay.
For me, you say that experience is the best teacher.
I'll be like yes and no.
I'm saying,
You're like vehemently said yes.
I think we need to have sex when we're ready. And
that I agree with, because I know like even when I had sex for the first time, I was not ready.
Yeah.
And the emotional turmoil that I had gone with, I would advise my kids like wait until you're like a little older, like and you're not rushing for
anything.
Let me address you. You are not rushing for anything.
Nothing.
I am telling you. So if you can wait for like 25, when you are an adult, when you have sound mind, when nobody's pressuring you, when it's not the peer pressure of, my friends in high school are having, Betty the other day had sex, and then Kabwe told me that the boyfriend, you have no pressure, I kid you not. Because what you don't know when you are younger is sex will be there for the longest fucking time.
And sex is a good thing.
For a long time. So it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it will make you feel like, I am dirty, and my parents will kill me.
Facts.
All right.
Facts.
Sex is a good thing.
But it's also a good thing.
Sex is a good thing, but it needs to be done at a good time.
It'll make you feel like, oh.
Thank you very much for tuning in to the. Get away from me. Thank you very much for tuning. Thank you very much for tuning.
I'm done.
Thank you very much for tuning into the Dirty Couch.
It is a dirty couch.
All right. Okay. Are you okay?
Some of us are drunk by now.
So it's the Dirty Couch, and catch us next week, same time, same space. And thanks to our producer Kaji and our guy, our legal guy. His name is Phil.
It tells us like stay in line. You might say illegal shit.
We're finishing the show. And Mordecai, our other sound engineer as well. Catch us next week. Have a good time.
We'll be back for more uncensored and unfiltered conversations on this.
We
We already started.
I'm out of here.